Hello and welcome to the work-through video of the 1.6 exam questions. Our first question is a 6-marker, extended piece of writing, and as such you need to be concerned with how you convey your information along with the actual information you give in the question. The information you need, obviously you need to know that limestone and calcium carbonate will be heated strongly and converted into quicklime, which is known as calcium oxide. And during this reaction, it will glow orange and become softer. The calcium oxide is then left to cool, and a small amount of water is added to the quicklime to produce slaked lime, which is your calcium hydroxide. Now, when this occurs, it's an exothermic reaction, and so you would hear hissing or see some fizzing, and solid will crumble. It's also very important to have the reaction schemes and balanced equations to go along with your extended piece of writing and explanation for this, as it shows further understanding for the reactions taking place. Now, to gain full marks for this, you need to have sustained methods and observations with balanced simple equations, and to make sure that your reasoning is coherent and relevant throughout, logically structured. Obviously, once you start mentioning about limestone, it would be confusing to start talking about calcium oxide and water to form this reaction scheme here. You should make sure you go through it logically, discuss limestone, give the calcium carbonate to calcium oxide and dioxide with a reaction scheme, describe the observations that you'd see, and then separately show the reaction between calcium oxide and water and work through that as the same as before. And also make sure that the appropriate scientific language is used. So exothermic reaction instead of heat given off or hot. Exothermic reaction shows it's more of an understanding for the reactions occurring, as well as obviously appropriate grammar and punctuation and spelling. Nextly, we have the following diagram will show how limestone and calcium carbonate can be converted into other useful products. Now, when a piece of limestone is heated strongly, its mass decreases. You're asked to state the type of reaction taking place. Obviously, this is a thermal decomposition. And you're also asked to describe what is seen when limestone is heated and converted into quicklime. Obviously, it will just glow. Right, next, we're asked to write a balanced simple equation for the reaction taking place. Now, that is your calcium carbonate, when heated, will decompose to calcium oxide, as well as CO2 gas is given off. You get 1 mark for correctly identifying the structure for the calcium carbonate, and 1 mark for the calcium oxide and CO2. Then I have to describe what is observed when quicklime is converted into slaked lime. 1 mark be awarded for any of the following: steam released, hissing, expands, crumbles. Obviously that would be the calcium carbonate will crumble. Obviously gas given off in the form of steam, hissing, the noise of that gas being given off. Finally, asked to write a balanced simple equation for the reaction taking place. That is simply just calcium oxide plus water will then form calcium hydroxide or slaked lime. Yet again, 1 mark each for calcium oxide and water, and 1 mark for the calcium hydroxide. Now, using the flowchart information from parts I to 3I, or III, name the type of reaction taking place in stage 1 as a thermal decomposition. Give the number of the stage which shows an exothermic reaction, that'll be 3. And you have to describe what you'd expect to see happen in stage 3. The chips expand or to that extent, as well as steam forming and spitting and fizzing bubbles, any sort of words to show that a gas is given off or a reaction taking place in which gas is released. The reaction taking place in stage 3 is shown by the following word equation: calcium oxide plus water to calcium hydroxide. Again, to reiterate, writing the balanced simple equation for this reaction is, as you've seen before, fully balanced. It's 1 mole of calcium oxide plus 1 mole of water for 1 mole of calcium hydroxide. The student blew gently, through a straw placed in a test tube containing lime water. Describe what would expect to happen to the lime water and give a reason for your answer. The observation that you would expect is that the lime water will turn milky, turns white, or goes cloudy. The reason for that is when you blow gently, obviously carbon dioxide gas is given off when you breathe out, and passing carbon dioxide through lime water is the test for the presence of carbon dioxide, or say that calcium carbonate is formed. You get no mark for saying that lime water yields calcium hydroxide. Quicklime is manufactured from limestone in a lime kiln. The manufacturer expected to obtain 5.6 tons per 10 tons of limestone, but the actual mass was only 5.1 tons. Asked to calculate the percentage yield of quicklime for this manufacturing process, simply 91 over 91.0, 91 or 91.07. 2 marks. Get 1 mark for 5.1 over 5.6 if the final answer was incorrect, and no credit would be possible if you just used the 10 tons in the calculation.